So, beginning our day, I'm on forest practice right now, so not coming down for morning puja, evening puja, and spending time at the elder's cabin up in the forest. It's a very nice location. And various reflections are coming up and reading through the Anguttara Nikaya a little bit, and various Dhamma reflections on practice, churning through my mind these days. And one is, somebody told me that there's kind of a new age view in America right now, like spiritual teachers. There's I don't know who the teacher is, but it's a sort of widely proclaimed view that if you're not happy all the time, you're not practicing correctly. And I think, because with Buddhist practice, what it's more about is seeing things clearly rather than being happy all the time. And I think happiness is a byproduct of the wholesome qualities we're developing. That's the obvious result of virtue and concentration and the development of generosity and patient endurance and all these paramis, all these good qualities that we're developing. But at the same time, nobody's asking us to be happy all the time. Which is, if we were all just, smiling, happy, floating on a pink cloud all the time. So one of my reflections I was thinking about last night was that, I still, for myself, I'm not to the point yet where I don't get affected by, say, praise and blame. So, praise, my mind still goes way up in the clouds. Blame or ridicule, mind still goes really low. And that's just it seems to be like an automatic reaction. So then, considering what is letting go, really, what it is a skillful response when those things happen. So, when I get praised, and the mind goes way up because of that praise, I can choose to get lost in it, follow it, make more of it, or I can choose just to reflect on it and just to know it as it is. Okay, the mind's doing that. Or blame, the mind goes really low. Okay, that's a natural effect of being blamed. Okay, the mood went low, but then I can reflect, I can skillfully respond to that mood and say, okay, I don't have to buy into this, I know this is going to change. And that way it stops the momentum and curbs the momentum of the mood as it's happening. Rather than thinking, I'm in this low mood and, I should be happy all the time and, why, and then kind of judging oneself, beating oneself up. And, but just knowing it, okay, the mood is like this and nobody's asking me to be a certain way, but just to know clearly, to cultivate mindfulness and know what's happening. It's something Luang Por Liam said, a teaching that always stuck with me when he visited here in not in 2015, but a visit previous to that, was he gave a talk one time on the ordination platform up in the forest, and one of the things he said in an evening talk up there always stuck with me, that sometimes we can know where we're at based on how we're acting. We can back up and know our mental state. So if we criticize, or if we're critical, we can know that criticism is a natural result of suffering, of inner suffering. Or if we praise, that's a natural result of inner happiness. And these are the natural result of inner happiness is we start praising. Natural result of inner suffering, turmoil, we start criticizing. That always stuck with me, is that's a natural response. And that way we can know where we're at based on how we're acting with our body and our speech, and we can back it up. And also something Luang Por Liam said in Thailand, a teaching he gave to one of my monk friends was sometimes the defilements will try to pull you down the path of sadness in terms of, and that's also kind of my own mental habit since I was very young. Okay, criticizing oneself, berating oneself for the mistakes one's done, and the defilements then pull one down the path of sadness. And part of us can think, oh, it's wholesome. I should beat myself up. I should punish myself for that, and somehow that'll make it better. But when the defilements pull us down the path of sadness, Luang Por Liam said, sit a lot, walk a lot, and focus strongly on your meditation object, and then you'll pull yourself back onto the correct path through doing that. I thought that simple teaching was so incredibly helpful. So these are just some thoughts on as we go about our day developing the practice.